the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in here, day one of the Masters. This is not going well right now on 15 for Rory McIlroy, the way it looks. I believe he's going to drop at least one shot here, maybe two. He's 4 under currently. 3 back of Justin Rose, who's in the clubhouse with a 65 today. Tony Rizzo, ESPN Cleveland, bottom of the hour. What are the Browns going to do at number 2 overall in the draft? Here, great discussion coming up. Anthony Curtis, Mr. Las Vegas advisor, kind enough to join us in studio on a Thursday here at Circa.
Yeah.
How are you, my friend? Good to see you again.
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
We talked about this earlier in the show. So the Massachusetts Gaming Commission today, they were going back and forth with DraftKings because there was a request on the behalf of a wife who her husband passed away. Mm-hmm. So he's deceased, and he had made several big bets on the Celtics to win the NBA title and to win the Eastern Conference. In fact, they all totaled $106,000 plus, right? Mm-hmm. That's the combined total of his wagers. So it looks like the MGC unanimously agreed to this request, and DraftKings is going to refund her the money. Your initial thoughts when you hear that?
Well, I didn't hear about this. I mean, that's the first I've heard. So he won, the tickets won or they lost?
No, they were pending.
They're pending.
They're pending to win the Eastern Conference and to win the NBA title.
Oh, and the Celtics aren't looking so great.
No, they're looking great.
They're looking really good. No, but she wanted the money back for the estate.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what do you want me to say? That's right or wrong or whatever. I mean, I suppose that if DraftKings wants to take the worst of it or the better of it, whatever they think it is, if they're going to take the worst of it and then the widow wants the money, I would do it. You would just do it for business.
Yeah, that's what they said, I think, really, because they now it's like a good faith. Like if this happens, then you can rely on us, and and so it brought on like a broader discussion is
this is right up your alley.
How much do you tell your wife, your girlfriend, about your bets? And then people are chiming in all over saying, I have a death book that she cannot touch until I'm gone. I have a death safe that will only get opened up once I'm gone, and that's the only time that's going to happen, right? But you need to think ahead for this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is always a problem. When somebody dies, it's like who gets whatever's pending and all kinds of different things. And I mean, it goes all the way down to comps. It goes down to slot club points. It goes down. I mean, there have been lawsuits over these things. Like, do I get these points? Do I not get these points? And, you go, well, what is that? A steak dinner? No, it might be, it might be a year's worth of eating in some of these situations. So, yeah, that's a tough thing. You've got to have, when somebody dies, there's always problems with splitting up money, no matter what it is. And it gets even more convoluted when it comes to casino stuff. So it's really, by now the casinos have these rules, stipulated of what they will and won't do. And they might give in and say, okay, let's do this out of goodwill and PR and whatever. But if they're going to stick staunchly to it, there's not a lot you can do but hire an attorney and see if there's a loophole.
Wow. What's the craziest story you've heard?
On that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Great lawsuit.
Any lawsuit.
Anything, yeah.
Oh, many things like that. But I mean, crazy lawsuits for me are always the things people, when they lose money and they want their money back.
Drunk, I say overserved, something.
That's the kind of stuff. But the one that's in my head right now is it just happened a few months ago where you've got 4 people suing Wheel of Fortune makers, which is what IGT, I believe. And, because they said they were cheated. They were gaffed by the wheel because all of the slots on the wheel are the same size for different amounts. And they think they should be equiprobable. I mean, no slot machine is like that. I mean, all of these things are weighted, they're weighted in a different way. And the thing is 4 people. Now, how many people have played Wheel of Fortune? 400 million maybe over the life of this thing. And all of a sudden they're saying, oh no, I should have an equal probability of getting $10 as I do hitting the giant jackpot because they're the same size, slice of pie on the wheel. So to me, that's like the craziest. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
It makes it through, and it's going to be heard, I guess.
Well, also when you said, and you could no longer play, you were so good, but you would play blackjack in groups. And we know about the MIT stories and the gross genes of the world. Is you got several books up, Las Vegas Advisor, and everything he's done. But what do you do when you work in groups and some guy has this money and then and the guy passes away?
Well, yeah, I've never heard of anybody dying in the middle of usually these people are pretty spry. When they're in these groups, they're running around doing stuff and they're younger and all of that. And I've never really heard I'm sure it's happened, but I've never heard of a team member dying who had a bunch of money. But the thing is, what you do with that, just in case, you always let somebody know where it is. You always do that. Like my friends, my main friends who I'm good buddies with, they have money in different places and I know where it is. And I mean, I assume they've told their wives and girlfriends and all, but I know they've told me. And they said, when it happens, this is what, if anything happens, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pay this person this person this, here's where my money is. Here's how you get in. These are my, sometimes you trust your team member and you're really good friends more than you would your own family.
Yes.
Do you have that lined up as well? Do people know where your stuff is at?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ready to go?
Beautiful. Yeah. Excellent. Great discussion.
You want me to tell you?
Oh, no. I would imagine. I knew what the answer was, I think. But I mean, because obviously if you think it's a good idea, then you're going to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, it's different for everybody. I think for me, I've got a business, I've got attorneys and things, and my attorneys know where stuff are. But my best friends also know what to do if something were to happen, and I know about them.
Beautiful. Perfect timing as well. Mitch just finished in second place in a blackjack tournament. It was in a draft. He got Florida and won 6 figures.
I saw that.
So this is awesome because you just played in a tournament as well, and you're an expert on this. And again, you're so good at blackjack, you're backed off and you can't play. But blackjack tournament strategy. First, start with what you just won and how the tournament structure is and where you were at.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, tournament strategy is different for different kinds of formats. All right. So the format that most people play, Mitch, you probably play, is called table advance, which is if there's more than 6 of you, you play at separate tables and the top 3 go forward and then you play in the finals and whatever. If there's only 5 or 6 of you, you play all at once and whoever comes out ahead after X number of hands gets some money.
Well, it was actually just
accumulation.
It's all just accumulation. Yeah, over 4 rounds.
Okay,
so but they also offer that though at the D and Gate. They also do.
Okay, so that's a different format. Accumulation is completely different. Accumulation is when you play and whoever gets the highest score at the end of the day, whether you accumulate over several rounds or whether it's per table and you get only 1 shot, and then next time you play you start free and everybody goes toward the top. So I was playing this week. There's a new mini tournament at the Stratosphere, or the Strat, as it's now officially called. And you have to play accumulation different. Table advance. 1 or 2 or 3 advance. You can be very crafty. You can wait. You can take your shots. You can get your money out when nobody else is betting, and it doesn't matter. Accumulation. You've got to be pushing. You've got to be putting your money in.
How many hands?
10 hands.
Oh.
10 hands.
Oh, then you got to go all in.
You go. All right. So I sit down and you can't, you don't want to give your strategy away, but you really can't camouflage this. I sit down and everybody at the table bets the minimum $500. You start with 5,000. I put the whole 5,000 in. And everybody, ooh, all that kind of stuff, not realizing that this is the mathematically correct way to play this. All right. Now I already knew because I'd done some nosing around that the first place was 26,000. 5,000 to 26,000 in 10 hands.
And how many people were in it?
I don't know, about 40 or 50.
Okay.
All right. So my goal was to get to 26.5.
Yeah.
All right. So I put the 5,000 in, I win. Now I've got 10,000 in chips. I stack it up. I got a tower this high and everyone's going, ooh, fantastic, blah, blah, blah. I win. Now I got 20. All right. My next bet, 7. I win. I'm at 27. I go back to minimum and I hold out and I cash out 26.5. So I get off the table, and this is just how crazy it is out there. I get off the table and I go to somebody and I go, let's see if the animals have learned. Those are my words. I said, let's see if the animals have learned. I just blueprinted it for you. And other people are playing after me. And I go, minimum, half bankroll. Everybody playing is suboptimally. And it's just, you've got to know what you're doing on the table. You have to understand. And it's just so against human nature. People go, well, if I do it all, I'm out. Then I'm done. I can't play anymore. Well, what do you want to do? You want to sit there and play
back away?
And have no chance, or do you want to try to win the money?
Sure. So this is also something that I'm learning because I've only played in a handful of these in my entire life, and I love them. Even the dealer agreed with this last time when it made sense. Double down on 21 in a tournament when you only have, this time it's 21 hands at a table. That's it.
Well, this one you wouldn't because Naturals paid 2 to 1.
Oh, then you wouldn't.
Yeah, so you wouldn't because it's the same thing.
But here, when it pays 3 to 2, or you double down for a chance at 2 to 1?
If you have to. I mean, if it's late and you're behind and you're not at your goal.
There you go.
If it's early, no. Take those chips, stack them, and put them all out again on the next one.
If I have a free ace.
You only do that when you're desperate. You do those kind of desperate moves as time. Okay. It's a funnel. As time is running out, you get more desperate with the way you play.
When do you want to use the free ace?
The free ace you want to use on your biggest bet. I mean, you just wait until it's whenever your biggest bet. I mean, realistically, they have all these different rules. Free ace. Okay, you throw that one at me. If you give me a free ace right now, I'd put the free ace on my first bet. I try to get a blackjack on that first bet and get, instead of, 10,000, get 15,000.
There you go.
Whatever.
Okay.
Just an accumulation tournament is just absolutely fire your bullets like crazy. Get your chips out there, build your stack, have a goal, hit that goal, and sit.
Split face cards?
Again, usually not in the early part.
Or let's say early, but it's against a 3.
Probably not.
Okay.
If I've got a 20, I'm going to probably try to build that stack. If I'm way behind at the end, there's 4 hands to go. Yeah, I'm splitting and doubling everything.
Yeah. Okay. Double ace 7, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
right?
here's the craziest thing. There was one guy in one last round who did watch. He was on my table, and he goes and starts betting all his money. Now he's going back and forth, and he gets a hard 12 against a 10, doubles it, which is fine, wins the hand. Hard 12 against a 9, doubles it, wins the hand. Now he's caught me. Now he gets a hard 13. He's still betting it all. He gets a hard 13 against a 5, doubles it again, makes 21. Now there's one hand to go. He's 40,000 ahead of me. He's all the way up to whatever. He's got the whole thing won. He bets it all on the last hand.
Oh my God.
Gets a 20. And dealer rolls a 21. And he's out and I win.
Oh, okay.
All right. Blackjack tournaments are fun.
Yes. More with Anthony Curtis, Las Vegas advisor, coming up next. Is the bubble bursting in this city, or is it about to? He'll have a great explanation on that here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
DeChambeau picks up a shot, goes to 3 under on 15 with a birdie there. He's 4 back of Justin Rose. McIlroy gave 2 back. No bueno on that one. So he's now at 2 under. We continue here with Anthony Curtis, Las Vegas advisor. We kicked this around with you before. We've had other guests talk about this as well. People listening to this program, they're probably, big fans of gambling. They love coming to Las Vegas. And if they do, they know that the prices here have gotten completely out of control for some aspects. Some places you might be paying $25 for a drink, the parking, all this stuff, right? Resort fees. People hate that. Are we finally starting to see Las Vegas come back a little bit from that?
Yeah. I mean, are the people starting to not show up is what you're saying? Yeah.
Are they? Vegas going to have to relent.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, numbers are showing that. Comments that you see and hear and read and all that kind of stuff. People talking about the $18 beers, well, maybe not the $18 cocktails and the $12 and $14 beers. And people are getting tired of that. But the problem is they bring that on themselves because they come to Vegas, they go right to the middle of the strip and they never leave. And that's where they're going to kill you.
Okay.
And you've got to go somewhere where the value is, whether it's getting out to the local places or coming downtown. Downtown, you can't beat it. You've got 10 casinos right here, right next to one another. And we're in Circa, and Circa's a little bit more high end, and the prices are a little bit higher at Circa than other places. But if you don't like it, then go across the street, right? Go over to Binion's or go over to Fort Queens or go to the Plaza where you can get a better deal. And, you don't have that opportunity on the strip per se. Unless you go around the corner of the stage door right across from Horseshoe and get a $1 beer, right? Or you read the Las Vegas Advisor and you know where those places are. That's what we look for. But all these people that complain, they just totally foist it on themselves by going to Center Strip and doing nothing else.
Yep.
So you've seen over the last couple of months, at Virgin, hosts are allowed to give away the store, comp everything. You saw something similar at Resorts World. If you can elaborate on that. And also it's like, how about this idea? How about I loosen up the machines? Yeah. Has that happened at a couple spots?
Well, yeah, you're getting the places that are starting to understand that they can't compete if they don't have a product that is going to bring the people in. So they're either going to go ultra fancy, something like Fontainebleau, and go, look at us, we're so beautiful, you're going to come in here and pay any price, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And some will, and others won't. And others are going, like Slots of Fun on the Strip. We have a $2 shrimp cocktail. We have $2 hot dogs, that kind of thing. Or Resorts World started, they got a really great drink proposition at the bar where you can drink top shelf stuff for betting, loaded quarters for $1.25 a hand. So, it's good. Now you get places like Virgin and Rio and Palms who have a bigger challenge because they've got to pull people from off the strip, or they've got to bring in the locals. And they're not going to bring in the locals if they don't have a good gambling product. They have to have a good gambling product, they have to have a good food product, and they have to have free parking, right? So you've got Virgin doing something recently. The Palms has already been kind of on top of this with their buffet and everything else. People come in for that. They have pretty good, gambling, video poker and everything else. Virgin is doing something. They just released a new slot club, which looks pretty good. It's like what you call a step-up club, where over a week, if you play a certain amount of time, you're going to get more perks and things. But best of all of them, without question, is the Rio. The Rio, which had really pedestrian video poker, all of a sudden went and just put 9-6 jacks or better all over the place, 99.54%, almost 100% game, from 25 cents to like $50. They've got 5 bonus poker. That's another 99.17% game. They got a couple of in the middle games, like 99.45 Deuces Wild games. That is the sort of thing where word gets around, and that's when the locals are going to start coming out, and that's what they need to survive and compete.
Okay. So the Rios needed this for a long time. Are they starting to see an influx now? People coming back?
It's very early to tell.
Sure, okay.
So I don't know, but I still say with the Rio, I was talking to them about it and saying, good job, what you guys did, and we're going to write about it in the LVA. People need to know this is some of the best video poker in Vegas. And I said, when are you going to bring your buffet back? Carnival World Buffet. That's what brought the people in.
No kidding. Great call.
Who knows?
It was awesome.
So the other thing, advice to an operator, make your Keno a little bit looser. And because the word will get around, inveterate Keno players, they understand schedules and they'll see you're paying more. They won't know exactly what the percentage is, but they'll know they're getting a better deal and word will spread. And so instead of having a 12% game, get a 6% game, a 9% game, and you're going to bring people in, you're still going to have that huge edge.
Well, we love the shows too and lived there for 25 years. So Mystere, whatever, every major strip property had a show. It goes back to Siegfried and Roy. Where are we at with show tickets?
Well, we do this every year. Las Vegas Advisor. We've done this for 34 years in a row, where we compile the price of every ticket in town. And if there's a range of tickets, like for Cirque, you can sit way in the back in the nosebleed, or you can sit up front. So we take an average. We get a mean on that. And we take the mean score and we put that into a big spreadsheet and we press a button and we see what the average ticket price is. Well, like 20 years ago, there was like one show, I think it was like Siegfried and Roy, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, that had a $100 ticket. Now the average price is $103.22. So you talk about prices going up.
Across the entire city, every show. Yeah.
And you look at things, and this year, it actually, though, went down $1.50 from last year, from the average. It was $1.50 more. And this year, we included the Sphere, because 3 or 4 days a week at the Sphere, they have a regular show. Yeah. And those shows were ridiculous. The average price of the Eagles, take a guess.
How much was it?
Take a guess. The average
Eagles
price.
take $900.
You right on. It was like it was about $920 or something like that.
The average to see the Eagles there.
$900. Yeah. Now the average at the Sphere, when you count in, Kenny Chesney, you blend it. The Eagles, Kenny Chesney, and
Dead.
Yeah, Dead right now was 548 or something like that.
Wow.
But the Eagles skewed it with their their 900 plus average ticket.
Las Vegas Advisor, Anthony Curtis, our guest. Follow him on.
Get the coupon book.
Gotta have it. LasVegasAdvisor.com and LVA_tweet on X. Last time you were in, you were talking about the blackjack tournament at Circa. Do you have an update?
Big update. Yeah, big update. We're talking about what we're calling the World Championship of Blackjack. And this is something that we are going to pattern after the World Series of Poker. So we're going to try to make it so everybody and anybody can enter this all over the world and play to become the world champion of blackjack. To do that, you have to have proof of concept, which means we have to put on not a celebrity, but like an all-star invitational. And we are going, right now it's scheduled to run when we get it set at Circa. It's not for sure, but it's scheduled as of now. We've talked with Derek Stevens. He wants it. We're hoping that's going to happen because this is like the king of contests and tournaments, right? But recently, it was going to air on Tubi. And that's where we were running into a little bit of people going, Tubi, well, Tubi's big. There's nothing wrong with Tubi. But yesterday, we got accepted on Amazon. So we're going to hold this on Amazon Prime Video.
Wow.
Huge.
That's a total game changer then.
It's a complete game changer. All of a sudden, since that happened, the word got out. I'm getting calls from a whole bunch of people. And the first one's not going to be open to the public. It's going to be the greatest blackjack players and tournament players in the world. The James Grosjeans and the Don Johnsons, the guy that took Atlantic City for $12 million. The best and biggest players in the world. We've already talked to them. They're already committed to play. And now because of we have to rejigger everything because of Amazon, we've got to go, a new schedule. But having it on Amazon I think it's going to happen. Then we're going to open it up to the world. I don't know what the entry fee is going to be, maybe $2,000 or $3,000. And we're going to be playing for probably millions eventually, just like they do at the World Series.
Tell us about the books you have planned. What's new? What's this Israeli phone hacker?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, this is, the book we've got now that's at the printer is called Advantage Players. It's written by Michael Kaplan, who has written for Cigar Aficionado. He writes for the New York Post. He writes for Men's Health. He writes for Esquire. And he's done many, many articles over the years about gamblers and other people who are extraordinary in one way or another. And he came to me and he said, what if we did a book about advantage players in all walks of life? It'll be casino heavy mostly because that's where the term comes from. But we're going to talk about casino advantage players and other advantage players. So we did. And there's like 30 stories. But it's not just a column compilation. It's melded together about how the advantage player theme goes all the way through different things. And it goes all the way from like James Grosjean, the GOAT, basically the GOAT, to Heidi Fleiss, who was the madam, the Hollywood madam. I mean, when you look into her methods, it was an advantage play method, the way she did what she did. We had things that are called sneak attack. They're like mini chapters. One of them's about Ernie Moody, who developed triple play video poker. Okay. Another one's about a guy who cuts locks. And I don't mean locks off of doors. He cuts salmon in New York. And he cuts salmon in such a special way and got the word out that he got hired in the biggest spot at Saddell's. And so he was an advantage player. There's a mini chapter on the Ramones who used 3 chords to, rise to the top of. So there's a bunch of sex ones in there. And then the phone freaks, these were phone hackers. They were blind, right? These guys were blind, but they hacked phones because their ears were so sensitive. They could hear the dial tones.
Oh my Lord.
When is this out? Oh my God.
It'll be out in May.
And that's going to be all available on the website?
Yes, and it'll be at Amazon and everything else. Okay. I mean, we've got blurbs from some of the greatest writers in New York. The cover blurbs from Ben Mesrick, who did Bringing Down the House. And it's going to be a big book.
Fantastic. LasVegasAdvisor.com. Go check that out as well. Get the coupon book. Anthony Curtis, you're the best. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Bryson DeChambeau with a birdie on 16. He's 4 under. 3 back of Justin Rose. Ludwig Aubert, 3 under through 16. McIlroy now looks like he's putting here. He's 2 under through 16. He gave back a couple on number 15. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on before the end of the show here as they wind down round number 1 of the Masters. And we head out to the Progressive guest line. As a legend in the Cleveland area, Tony Rizzo joins the program from ESPN Cleveland. T. Riz, what's shaking, baby?
I think I have DeChambeau plus money top 20, if you can believe that, because he's on LIV. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Plus money top 20.
Am I wrong? Did I give him plus 105 top 20 at DraftKings? I think I did.
Okay. That sounds like a great number.
Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So what do you make of, you're on DraftKings then. What did you make of the recent move, or not so recent? It's been a couple of days at least now. When you click on the NFL draft tab and go down to, player to go number 2 overall, Travis Hunter, where the Browns are picking at number 2, he's now minus $3. Is that the play?
Oh, I think he should be minus 5. Absolutely, guys. Listen, I know there's been a lot of talk about Carter, and we'll get to Shedeur in a minute. But when the Browns went to that pro day in Colorado and they watched Travis Hunter, that's the kind of guy. Browns need help everywhere. Guys, we haven't had a first-round pick in 3 years. Oh. Everything plays in this. By the way, the Watson debacle plays into them not taking a swing at quarterback at 2. Trust me on this, okay? They like Hunter. He can play both sides of the ball. Schwartz would love to get him on the field. 10, 12 plays, defensive back. Dion said it's man-to-man. He doesn't have to study or whatever. They like him as a wide receiver. Give Andrew Berry credit. a month ago at the owners' meeting, he said, I see the kid as a wide receiver. He's pretty much the only guy to say it. And the kid wants to be a wide receiver. And let's face it, the wide receivers make more money. But the Browns like Hunter right now. If I was laying my money, that's where I'm going. Why
does the Watson thing play into the decision at quarterback at 2?
Because they're afraid to take a swing and a miss, Pauly. Okay? I'm a Shedeur Sanders guy. I think the kid would be perfect here.
Sure.
Is he perfect? No. Does he have elite traits? No. Does he win? Yes. Is he a difference maker? Yes. Is he a game changer? Yes. I love that kid. And all the analytics, and I get it. Guys, it's time for scouts. It's, and at 2, he's a reach. Okay, let me tell you something. No quarterback's a reach if you get it right. No one. But the Browns are going to take that swing at 2, and it's okay. And there's talk they could come back. If he slides, listen, 6, 7, 9. Tom Brady's going to pass on this kid. I thought he was his mentor. The Raiders need a quarterback. They're going to pass on him. The Jets are going to pass on him. They got Justin Fields. 9. Mel has him going 9 to the Saints.
Yep.
Okay, if he gets past 9, you know who's in play. The Steelers are in play.
Sure, at 21. Yes. If he gets past 9, right. Tony, he's going to slide.
That's right. And that's where right now I know his over-under is 8.5. I'm all over it.
You're all over
it. I got to get my intel in the last week here, and we'll see. But, guys, I'm telling you, I don't be surprised if the Browns make a play back into the first round for a quarterback if they take Hunter.
Okay, would that be Jackson Dart then? Don't tell me it's going to be Jalen Milroe.
Mitch, I don't know. Mitch, I said today I want to break in to the headquarters and look at the whiteboard. I'd love to know. I'd love to know how they have the quarterbacks rated, I know they like Milroe, guys. I know they like him. Tommy Rees is the new Browns OC. He was Milroe's OC 2 years ago in Alabama when he looked good. And that is definitely in play. But will he last to 33? By the way, what's the over-under? In Ohio, we can't bet this. What's the over-under for quarterbacks in the first round?
2.5, juice to like minus 240 to the over.
Oh, I love 3. Somebody's going to freak out. Somebody's going to. If Shedeur goes, like let's say he goes 9 or 21, somebody will think, you know what? And it might be the Browns. Don't forget, Browns have that 33rd first pick in the second round, the one you go to bed with. And you're going to get calls for that. But you're going to know who you want the minute that we're on the clock.
All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Tony Rizzo, ESPN Cleveland. He's on the Progressive guest line. If they don't do that, right, trade back in and take somebody like Jackson Dart,
right,
the week 1 starting quarterback for Cleveland next year will be who?
Guys, I've never heard Kevin Stefanski gush about a quarterback like he did Kenny Pickett.
Oh, my God.
And I am not kidding. Hold on. Here's their theory. It's not mine, guys. It's not mine. And that's why my partner, Tony Grossi, who's covered the Browns 40 years, still thinks Flacco's in play. So let's see how that plays out. But
okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not signed. Okay. But Pickett had a bad OC. Matt Canada, God bless him, good dude. Bad OC in Pittsburgh. It was a bad scene. Went to Philly. Andrew Berry, Browns GM, studied under Howie in Philly. They're well connected. They said this kid could be something for you. They're going to give him a go. He's going to have a real chance in training camp to win that starting job, no matter who they draft, even if they draft Shedeur.
Well, good luck with that.
You're speechless.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, probably this is my world.
I know. You've seen it all. This factory of sadness. Okay. How about some good news? Love this Cleveland team. I don't know what they were to get the 1 seed. I'm sure that was a huge price. What a job Atkinson has done. I'm holding the West Coast road trip against them. Maybe I'm being unfair. 2-1 to win the East. Where are you at with the Cavs? Can they get to the conference finals?
Well, the Cavs lost their focus a bit when they realized they were 8 games up for the number 1.
Sure.
Don't hold it against them. Pauly. They know what's at stake here. 2 things you need to be concerned about with the Cavs. Number 1, the small guards defensively in the playoffs. Boston, even the other night, San Antonio was, So that's one thing to worry about. Number 2, Cavs got to hit their threes. When they were cooking, January, February, they were making everything. Now, recently, they've showed the uptrend in that, but we're ready to go. look, Orlando, Indiana, Milwaukee, the Cavs are a better team. They should win those series. No automatic 8 wins to the conference finals, but we'll take our chances with the Celtics. They're clearly the class, and it would be an upset if the Cavs were to win.
Would you be stunned if Atkinson does not win Coach of the Year?
No, yes. Come on. Who you?
Well,
by the way, JJ Redick's done a nice job, man.
Bickerstaff. They tripled the win total.
JB. Oh, I love JB. Come on. JB's been on my show 15 times. He was coach here for 5 years.
Yeah.
Love JB Bickerstaff. And the job he's done, he's in the running. But when the Cavaliers, you know, guys, first 1 seed since LeBron left. That was a big deal to this organization. Mm-hmm. I know Dan Gilbert, and it was a big deal to this organization.
Is this the best Cleveland Cavaliers basketball team of all time?
Mitch, we've got to play the playoff. Come on. Hey, without Jordan, I believe Doherty and Price and those guys would have won one. They were really good.
They were awesome.
That was a really good team. And I will say 17 Cavs, man. They had to go get KD, okay? Because the 17 Cavs were really good too. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, they were really good. I think this team's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They play together. They're all good kids. Like, they're not, these NBA drama queens and, all the guys on social and all that. Mobley and Allen and Garland and Mitchell's been, I got to tell you, Donovan Mitchell's underrated. I know he's probably going to be first team All-NBA, and he started the All-Star game, but people don't realize this kid, I think these playoffs for him is a proving ground. And I would bet his overs in a lot of these games moving forward because I think he's ready to take the next step as a superstar in the league.
Great appearance as always, my friend. Great to catch up with us. Stay in touch.
Miss you guys. I'll be out soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Let us know. Thanks, buddy.
There you go. All right. Tony Rizzo, ESPN Cleveland. DeChambeau plus money. Top 20.
What are they doing? Kenny Pickett. Flacco in play. I'm better. I like that better. And Grossi's all over that. He covered the team.
Okay,
but the Hunter stuff's big.
Yeah.
Let me throw this at you. Are you buying the stuff that Sanders is telling the three teams at the top? I don't want to go there anyways.
Sure, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
And the dad getting involved.
Sure, but what he said makes sense though, right? How Watson is impacting this decision.
Yeah,
they don't. If he's great, okay, fine. They're going to whiff on that, and they're going to regret it. But they also don't want to whiff. I mean, they have like buyer's remorse here. That's very recent, and that's a bitter taste to have in your mouth for a long time. So they're probably just going to have to.
Well, their track record's atrocious.
Oh, it's the worst.
Whedon, Quinn, Manziel, Couch. I'm missing people too.
Oh,
I mean,
there's like a list of 20 quarterbacks.
Well, the
since
list.
like 1998.
Yeah. Oh man, get the betting splits. Everything we offer here. The promotion till August 1st. VSiN.com/subscribe. We use Circa and DK. We take that Circa takes huge bets from pros. You get the smart money there, sharp action as well. VSiN.com/subscribe. Every best bet, every host, every guest, August 1st. Great offer, $59. VSiN.com/subscribe.
In Pocket plays up next. We'll tell you what we're betting, and I'll tell you this. I'm out. I am never betting him again.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're up.
All right. 1-1 last night. Streak came to an end. Grimes started 0 of 10 and finished 4 of 17 from the floor. Still got to 17 points. Just couldn't make anything in the first half. So the 13-1 over on his points prop comes to an end. They won the game. That was the other thing. It was a blowout. So he sat much of the fourth quarter. Nuggets money line winner. They also covered in that game as they beat the Kings. All the Masters bets. Phil, top senior. Neiman, top South American. Connors, top Canadian.
Neiman got off to a scorching hot start today.
Yeah. 3 under was the best, I think. It's now even now. And Connors is 4 under, top Canadian. He was even money as well. Nothing tonight, but as we talked about earlier, Ja Morant over points prop, 13 in a row. It's 25.5 though tonight, and I like Luzardo over his K prop. Only one night game tonight, Braves and Phillies, good pitching matchup.
Roger that, pal. Best of luck. Kobe White over 30.5 last night, no good for the PRA. Josh Giddey was good again. Man, he flew over. I think he had 50 plus, 35.5. And Kawhi Leonard over 5.5 rebounds. Had a dozen last night. Those were 2 winners, so 2-1 on the night. Added play today. Chicago Bulls to make the playoffs, plus 225.
Yeah.
A big fan of this team.
Yeah.
They are going to be, if they make the right moves in the offseason, I said this the other day on the air, add maybe a player or two in the offseason as well. Can't wait to see what the win total is going to be. Because if it's low enough, that'll probably be my first play next year. Bulls over, and the Eastern Conference has good teams in front of them, but man, they're dangerous.
Easton Summer Specials here. Best deal of the season, $59 pro access. Everything we do through August 1st. That's the betting splits I just talked about. Masters Draft, NBA, NHL playoffs, Kentucky Derby, 24/7 video access, Kentucky Derby betting guide. Every sport, every edge, one price. Full access now through August 1st. $59. vsin.com/subscribe.
All right, so here's your current leaderboard. Day 1 of the Masters. We are winding down the first round. Justin Rose in the clubhouse now for a while, 7 under. Corey Connors, 3 strokes back. He was tied with Bryson DeChambeau until a moment ago. DeChambeau gave one back, bogey number 17. So Connors and Scheffler are at 4 under. Ludwig Aubert is at 3 under through 17. Terrell Hatton, 3 under. You have Jason Day, Harris English, Aaron Rai, 2 under. And then a plethora of golfers at 1 under. Got to tell you, pretty awesome leaderboard. That looks strong. So, current odds right now at DraftKings. And Scotty Scheffler just moved from 2-1 to plus 190 because of the DeChambeau miss, I believe. DeChambeau's at plus 550. No, he just moved 8-1 because of the miss. 6-1. It's moving all over. Justin Rose, 7-1. Abear is 8-1. And here's the guy I'm never, ever betting again. McIlroy's now 12-1. So last night we had this draft in town. Bettors, odds makers, a bunch of other people here involved. 10 teams. 2 to a team, basically. Or I think maybe 1 solo team. Picked 8 golfers. Rory McIlroy went second. And Circa kept bumping his odds up. He went to plus 705. I had to bet that number, anything over 7-1. I also bet him plus 170 to finish top 5. Still possible. But what did Rory McIlroy just do? He doubled yet another hole. Paul, he was at 4 under and threatening to maybe make a move on Justin Rose at 7 under. He gave 2 back on 15 and 2 more back on 17. He's even par playing number 18 right now. I'm out.
I don't blame you.
That's it.
Yeah.
If I make a case for him again, which thank God I didn't during the week, but I made the bets anyway, do something to me.
All right. Big names, and it didn't go well today. DJ, Cantlay, Koepka, 2 over. McIntyre, Mickelson, Finau, 3 over, as is Rahm. Horschel, 5 over. Adam Scott, 5 over. Glover and Straka, 6 over.
Oh, boy.
Mama. Henley, 7 over.
Oh, God.
Oh, second worst score.
How deflating.
Henley, 7 over.
That's absolutely, he was playing such good golf. So now, again, basically, going back on history, this trend has meant something at the Masters that you basically have to be in the top 10 after day 1 to win this thing. All of those golfers who are 1 under are actually tied for 11th.
Okay.
So maybe they have a case, but the golfers who are even money or worse are 26, tied for 26 or worse than that. So does anybody stick out that you want to grab? Like at the very top, do you want to grab some Jason Day? Can he make a run? Jason Day is 45-1 at DK. Or maybe some placements there with Day, a big number to finish top 5. He's 2-1 to finish top 10.
No. I feel okay with my Connors ticket. You expecting Rose to come back? Fall back? I took a little Rose. You think a wire-to-wire job here? What was that, 9-10 to 1?
No, I think he'll come back.
He'll come back. He'll won't play well tomorrow?
Yeah. Well,
it was great today.
And other golfers will potentially catch him, too.
Yeah. You followed Jeff Sherman. Congrats. 66 to 1, first-round leader.
Yep.
He's right about the history there. I'll tell you, Rye was good. He got the 4 under right away. He's 2 under. Davis Thompson?
Okay.
Smith?
Where's Thompson at?
He's on that group that's 1 under.
1 under?
He's all in that group, yeah.
Yeah, you can probably find a huge number on somebody like Davis Thompson right now.
Didn't Jeff Davis say Greiserman's a huge liability?
He was. Remember, people were betting him a long time ago, and they wanted nothing to do with him this week.
He's also in that plethora of guys, a 1 under.
Harris English is 9 or 10 to 1 to finish top 5. He's at 2 under. I don't think I'm going to be betting him. I did mention this earlier today when DeChambeau, who is winding it down right now on 18, when he got off to that hot start, because he went par, birdie, at that point 2 under. I did not have a piece of him any which way at all. No placement, no matchups, nothing. I panic bet him. FOMO. Major FOMO. Because a lot of people like the guy. He is a, 2-time major winner, both at the U.S. Open, but he was also the first-round leader at the Masters last year, 7 under. So he's got the goods to make a run here, and I don't really want to panic bet too many other guys at around the same number, but
fun show. It started off with the Masters. Fred Couples, second oldest to break par at the Masters, 65. Shot a 71, had an eagle today. Uh-huh. That led into sports accomplishments, athletic accomplishments. What have you done? Physical exertion at 65, 70, 75. We got some marathon tweets and stuff. And then that also got into the DraftKings story in Massachusetts about the husband who died and had $106,000 in futures on the Celtics to win the East and the NBA title. They voided the tickets, paid over $368 if they would have cashed, and they voided the tickets and gave her the money. The husband made the bets on the app, and that got into how good was the Anthony Curtis discussion on that?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, I trust people, my advantage player partners more than family members. Some of them liable to take it, scoop it, and run.
Yep.
Well, what could happen? So, if something happens to me, there's instructions where it's at, who to pay, this is here, whatever.
This is a good email from...
Oh, it's so good. You got to get L.A. Jones in, too.
Oh, for sure.
The Death Book.
Oh. Death Book and Death Safe. Another one, too, from Jordan in Dallas.
Yeah.
This is from Adam in Ontario. ftm@vsin.com is the email. My wife knows the login to my 2 sports books. I'm 42 now, but when I was 30 and we were first together, I absolutely gambled too much and beyond my means.
Okay.
I took a few years off, came back with a different perspective, and now she has no problem with it. Neither do I. She's known the login for 8 years, and the trust has been rebuilt. Good job.
Good job, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice job rebounding. He says, I can understand how a partner would be fearful of someone gambling and sharing everything is the best way to keep it fun. The good doctor, again, Stephen Gephardt here, loves to gamble on sports. He cashed with the Eagles at the blackjack tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Met him last night after the show. He told me that his wife knows everything. Shares everything with her.
Okay.
I like that idea of, again, it's kind of a gruesome topic or discussion, but it's one that needs to be had.
Right.
I mean, I want to know more from Jordan about the death safe. And if L.A. Jones comes in studio with the death book.
He's not allowed to look at it.
Till he's dead. That's the agreement that they have in place.
Did you see the High Point story?
Yeah.
High Point coach Alan Huss is stepping down. He'll rejoin McDermott's staff at Creighton. He is coach in waiting. He'll take over when McDermott retires.
Probably in like 2 years.
Huss is you think so?
No, that's what one of the reports said.
Huss is 46. He was McDermott for 6 seasons before taking over at High Point in 2023. Interesting.
I can't blame the guy.
They did a hell of a job, no doubt.
I mean, he's going to go from High Point to Creighton, guy in waiting. It's pretty good.
McDermott is 60. Prime time up next. More Masters, NBA previews, who they're betting in the second round. For the first time in history, follow the money live from Stadium Swim at the pool tomorrow. Matt Humans, Derek Stevens, some of the waitresses, the gals will be on. Be a ton of fun tomorrow. Tune in.